Marcus Thornton had built an empire from nothing, turning a small tech startup into a billion-dollar corporation. At 62, he was known throughout the business world as ruthless, calculating, and utterly alone. When a severe car accident left him hospitalized, everyone assumed the worst. The doctors said he was in a coma, unresponsive to the world around him. But Marcus could hear everything. Every whisper, every footstep, every conversation. He simply chose not to respond. Curious to see who truly cared about him now that he lay helpless. His business partners visited once, discussing how to divide his assets. His distant relatives came by, already measuring the mansion for new furniture. Even his attorney seemed more interested in updating his will than his recovery. Marcus felt his heart harden further with each mercenary visit. Then came Sarah Mitchell, a night nurse in her late 20s who had recently been assigned to his care. Unlike the others, she didn't come with expectations or greed. She simply did her job with a gentleness Marcus hadn't experienced in decades. She would talk to him during her shifts, not knowing he could hear every word. One quiet midnight, as rain tapped against the hospital window, Sarah pulled a chair beside his bed and began speaking softly. "Mr. Thornton, I know you probably can't hear me, but I need to tell someone. My daughter Emma has been diagnosed with leukemia. She's only 7 years old. The treatments are so expensive and my insurance won't cover everything. I've sold everything I own, worked triple shifts, but it's still not enough." Her voice cracked with emotion. "I look at you lying here with all your wealth, surrounded by people who only want your money, and I think about how differently our lives have turned out. But you know what? I wouldn't trade places, because Emma looks at me with such love, such trust, and that's worth more than any fortune. I just wish I could save her. I'd give anything, do anything." Sarah wiped her tears and gently adjusted his blanket. "I'm sorry for burdening you with this. You deserve better care than a crying nurse. I promise I'll be more professional." She stood to leave, but Marcus's hand suddenly moved, gripping her wrist weakly. Sarah gasped as his eyes slowly opened. "How much?" he whispered, his voice hoarse from weeks of silence. "How much do you need for Emma?" Sarah's eyes widened in shock. Over the following weeks, Marcus not only paid for Emma's complete treatment, but also established a foundation in her name to help families facing similar struggles. Sarah discovered that the coma had been partially real. Marcus had been semi-conscious, drifting in and out. But her confession had given him a reason to fight back to full awareness. When Marcus finally left the hospital, he wasn't the same man who had entered. He had found something his billions had never bought him, a purpose beyond profit and a family in Sarah and Emma, who valued him for his heart, not his wealth. Sometimes the greatest treasures are discovered not in moments of strength, but in moments of vulnerability, when we finally open our hearts to hear what truly matters. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe to Kindness Voice for more inspiring stories that celebrate the power of compassion and human connection. Your support helps us spread kindness one story at a time.